Hello, my name is Kathy Jameson, the Proposition Lady, and today I'm going to review the results of the November 2022 election. We had 7 propositions on the ballot this year. Did any of them pass? When will they go into effect? What happens now? We'll start with Prop 1, which passed with 65.7% of voters in favor. As a result, the California Constitution will be amended to prohibit the state from interfering with an individual's right to abortion and contraceptives. This measure does not represent a change to California law. Abortion is already legal, but by enshrining it as a right in the Constitution, the voters have made it harder to restrict reproductive freedom in future. Let's turn our attention to Prop 26, which sought to legalize sports betting in person at casinos and racetracks. Prop 26 did not pass, with 69.4% of California voters saying no thanks. There was a similar proposition on our ballot, Prop 27, which sought to legalize sports betting on mobile apps as opposed to in person. Prop 27 was soundly defeated, with 83.2% of California voters against it. Ouch! That was the largest margin of defeat for any proposition this year. Especially tough for Prop 27's supporters, who spent over $169 million to get it passed. Their opponents spent over $249 million to defeat it, which I suppose was money well spent. Combined, over $418 million were spent on Props 26 and 27, with both failing spectacularly at the polls. That's almost $500 million, folks. Was it all worth it? It turns out that Californians are not terribly enthusiastic about expanding access to gambling in our state. Either that, or the ads that flooded the airwaves for months and months were so annoying that everyone got grumpy and voted no out of spite. Either way, doesn't look like I'll be able to place a bet on the Warriors anytime soon. Let's have a look at Prop 28, the Art and Music K-12 Funding Initiative. Prop 28 passed with 62.4% in favor. It's not surprising that it passed, since there was no organized opposition. This means that starting in the 2023 to 24 school year, every child enrolled in a K-12 public school will receive some art and music education. Once the measure goes into effect, it is expected to improve student learning overall and increase diversity in the entertainment industry in the coming years. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. Okay, only 3 props left on our 2022 scorecard. Let's have a look at Prop 29, the Service Employees International Union's third effort to regulate the dialysis industry. Like their 2018 and 2020 dialysis propositions, this one also failed to pass, with 69.7% of California voters against it. The SEIU spent almost $8 million in support of the measure, while the dialysis clinics spent over $86 million to defeat it. But if the SEIU's aim was to raise awareness of patient conditions during dialysis treatments and get the owners to drop a bunch of dollars, one might say just having it on the ballot was a win for them. The SEIU has put dialysis measures on the ballot 3 times in a row now. It remains to be seen whether they will try again in 2024, but we do have some control over that. It takes hundreds of thousands of signatures to qualify a proposition for the ballot, so keep that in mind when you're approached with a petition in front of the supermarket. If we don't sign it, we won't have to vote on it. Let's have a look at Prop 30, which sought to increase the tax on personal income over $2 million by 1.75%, with the revenue going to zero-emission vehicle infrastructure and wildfire suppression. Prop 30 was defeated, with 58.7% of California voters saying no. Supporters argued that California has not set aside enough money to meet our ambitious climate goals, and that without the extra funds, Lyft will not be able to convert 90% of their independent driver fleet to electric by 2030, as required by the California Air Resource Board. Opponents argued that the measure was a special interest carve-out for Lyft, and that enough resources have been allocated to reduce climate emissions here in California. They were also concerned about budget complexity. One thing is for sure, the measure was polling well until Gavin Newsom came out against it. Whatever his reason for doing so, his efforts had a big impact on the results. So, will we be able to bring down carbon emissions and save the Earth without the extra cash Prop 30 would have generated? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Finally, let's check in on Prop 31, which sought to uphold a law banning the sale of flavored tobacco products. Prop 31 passed, with 62.8% in favor. This means that on December 21st, the sale of flavored tobacco products, including menthol cigarettes, will be illegal in the state of California. These products were already banned in many cities and counties in our state, so for some of us, the passage of Prop 31 will have no impact. That's our scorecard for 2022. This year, a total of $845 million was spent, 1 billion TV ads were shown, and a gazillion mailers were either trashed or recycled. But out of the 7 props on the ballot, only 3 will become law here in California. And it's interesting to note that the 3 props that passed were the 3 with the least amount of funding. 2024 is a presidential election year, so we can expect a lot more than 7 propositions on our ballots. But don't worry, I'll help you get through them. Meanwhile, I'll keep you posted between election cycles, so stay tuned. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm Kathy Jameson, the Proposition Lady, and I appreciate you being here with me today. See you soon, California voters. Bye now.